Eddie Hearn. First of all, fight camp with fans. It was special in here tonight, wasn't it?
Fantastic. I'm just going to go out to the garden now and make sure there's no one hiding in any bushes or anything. But brilliant atmosphere. People loved it. Show was great. Production was great. Great way to kick off the new partnership with DAZN. Capped by a Cinderella story with Leigh becoming world featherweight champion, and a couple of great fights on the card as well.
Just talk about that fight with Leigh, because what a sensational performance. I don't think a lot of people really saw him winning in the fashion that he did win it in tonight.
No, I didn't. I mean, I felt that he had a chance, and Ben Davison has done a great job with him. We know he can punch, but he absolutely schooled Zucan. I mean, I don't know what some people were watching or how they were scoring it, but I struggled to give him Kanzu more than 3 rounds. And not only did he school him, but he stopped him. And to get him out there in that fashion was a real statement. And he's announced himself on the featherweight division, which of course is buzzing domestically on a world level. And next week we've got Kid Galahad against Jazza Dickens for the IBF world title.
Is that a likely next fight for him, the winner of that fight? Perhaps
possibly. I mean, look, we were a voluntary defence. Golden Boy have a rematch clause in place. I can't see him taking it because he wasn't in the fight, in my opinion. But they'll look at it and they'll say, inactivity may be a cause of that, but I'm not so sure. I think it was just the snazziness, the footwork, the power of Leigh tonight won him the fight.
Talking about the chief support, a lot of build-up, a lot of needle in the build-up to that fight. How did you score that fight when the cards were being read out? Who were you edging towards?
I felt it was a very close fight. I felt that Chris Billam-Smith nicked the fight, and Mark Dunlop messaged me earlier. Tommy won that fight, and I said, look, it was a close fight. I had Billam-Smith edging it. Some people had McCarthy edging it. I didn't agree with 116, 112. But what I did agree with was most people's opinions. It was a fantastic fight. I'd love to do it again. I don't see why we shouldn't do it again. People would love to see it. Very hard-fought fight, a gruelling fight, and both deserve a lot of credit. They deserve a lot of credit for taking that fight in the first place, and we want to see more of them. We want to see more British, Commonwealth, European title fights, and that was a great example of it.
Could we see that fight in Bournemouth, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think Chris has always talked about fighting in Bournemouth, and it's an area of the country that I think has a lot of potential to start doing shows there. And if there's anyone capable of doing it, it's him. So I'd like to see him box down there next time out.
Campbell Hatton, 3-0. Your thoughts on his performance tonight?
Good performance. He boxed a capable guy who was 4-4. He's much more composed now. He's looking like he's got more snap in his punches. He's getting some round under his belt. Still a baby. I don't mean that disrespectfully, but limited amateur pedigree, just learning. We're giving him all the best experiences to progress as a professional, and there's plenty more to come. He's going to mould into a really good fighter.
After a very emotional week for Anthony Fowler with becoming a dad and opponent changes, he got the win tonight in quite impressive fashion. And then let's talk about the one that's just been announced, Anthony Fowler against Billam-Smith. What a fight that is.
Yeah, it's been a tough week for Fowler because obviously the birth of his son, so special for him. And, I kept looking and watching his social media, and it spanned over about 3 days in the hospital. And I wondered whether I'd get the call to say, look, he just can't fight. But he's always in tremendous shape. Then, we're working on the Billam-Smith fight. Then yesterday, that fight gets made. And I'm thinking, it's so difficult for a fighter to go into a fight knowing that really all their mind is on is the Billam-Smith fight. And Rico Muller come to fight. Like, he was letting his hands go. He was dangerous. And I thought Fowler did really well. And, the first thing I always ask when we've got another fight planned is, your hands okay? You check for any cuts. He's fine. He's in great condition. And we announced what is a cracker. Billam-Smith against Anthony Fowler. I don't mean to sound cheesy, but I love Liverpool and I love big fight nights in Liverpool. And big fight nights in Liverpool exist when you've got two Scousers going at it. Right? You've got the North End, you've got the South End. You've got Anthony Fowler, you've got Billam-Smith, you've got a little bit of history with the amateurs. He boxed Callum and stuff like that. It's a massive step up for Anthony Fowler. But he's 30 years old. That was the perfect fight tonight where he banked rounds. It's time to roll the dice. He believes he can beat Billam-Smith. Shane believes that they can beat Billam-Smith. You see Billam-Smith's reaction. Knife through butter. He believes he's going to go through Anthony Fowler. It's a great fight for Liverpool. It's going to fill up the Echo. It's a great fight for DAZN. It's a great fight for both guys. Let's do it. And these are the fights we want to see. So October the 9th at the M&S Arena, which is formerly known as the Echo Arena. We're going to have a great night, huge card, and I can't wait to be back in Liverpool.
Another really impressive performance tonight on the card was Jack Cullen. What an amazing result for him.
Amazing. I love Jack Cullen because, one, I love his fans, and two, he never turns a fight down. You know, Avni Yildirim was owed a fight by us. Fair play to him and Amit Ona. They accepted the fight against a Brit. Jack Cullen, they felt that they could beat him, and they should have beaten him really on paper. But Jack Cullen just boxed really well. Mick Jennings and those guys done a great job with him. You know, boxed at range, mixed it up on the inside as well, and won the fight comfortably. And now he sits, you know, probably moving into the top 15 in the world, particularly with the IBF, of which that was for the belt. What a future he's got. And, you know, I love that. And I love, you know, guys like Leigh Wood changing their life tonight. And that's what it's all about.
Sandy Ryan, a tough start for her for a professional debut. Kirsty Bavington was rough and rugged and spoiled it at times in there, but she's off and running and looked impressive in stages.
Yeah, and I think you summed it up. You know, very difficult to look good against Kirsty because she was all over her, non-stop, didn't stop coming forward, jumping in, roughing her up. But it's a great way to learn. 6 rounds under the belt straight away. Sandy Ryan's a quality fighter. She'll be boxing very, very frequently and regularly. And I believe she'll be fighting for world titles as soon as the end of next year. You know, she's got a fantastic amateur pedigree, and I believe she'll go all the way.
And this just the beginning, of course, for Fight Camp 2021. Another big night next weekend. Talk us through it.
Yeah, next week, huge. I mean, we only saw one stoppage tonight, and that was in the 12th round. It's the heavyweights next week. You know, you got Fabio Wardley against Nick Webb, great fight. You got Alan the Savage Babbage back against Mark Bennett, great fight. You got Johnny Fisher, you know, always looking destructive. You got Ebony Bridges against Beck Connolly. You got Aqib Fiaz, and of course, you've got the big one, the world featherweight title, domestic fight, Liverpool against Sheffield, Jazza Dickens against Kid Galahad, great fight. Tonight was tremendous, and now we do it all again next week.
Eddie, we can't wait. Thanks for your time.
Cheers.